Hey basses, this is the practice video for She Walks in Beauty. We're going to be learning through measure 30, and this is for bass 1. If you are singing bass 1, this is your practice track. I'm gonna start at the beginning, and I'm gonna play the piano intro and count along because you need to start getting used to counting those measures just in case the audition cut starts on the first page. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Measure 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and do, fa, mi, ti, do, re, mi, do, fa, mi, ti, do, fa, so. Rest. Measure 9, 2 and 3 and 4. Measure 10, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Do, fa, so, ti, do, so, fa, mi, do, re. Rest. Do. Stop. We stopped right at the beginning of measure 16. I want to go back and point out in measure 13, the very top of page 5, you have notes that are on the upbeats. That means when I was snapping, that's the downbeat, but your notes are coming in between those. So I'm going to sing for you measures 11, 12, 13, and 14. And I want you to see how in measure 13 your notes are in between the beats, okay? So here is measure 11. 1 and 2 and 3. Do, fa, so, ti, do, so, fa, mi, do, re. Did you see how it was back and forth? Do, snap, so, snap, fa. The reason I'm spending a lot of time on this is because that sort of jumping around melody comes back later on in the piece. So if you learn it now, it's gonna be awesome. Go back to measure 11 and sing that with me, okay? This is do, 1 and 2 and go. Do, fa, so, ti, do, so, fa, mi, do, re. Rest. Do, rest. Let's do that one more time together. Measure 11, and I'm playing the piano underneath you, but I'm gonna snap this time. Measure 11, do, ready? 1 and 2 and do, fa, so, ti, do, so, fa, mi, do, re. Rest. Do, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Measure 17, 2, 3, 4. Top of the page. So, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, do, so, fa, re, so. And at this point, you are going to go down and join the bass 2s on the very, very bottom line. I just realized I didn't solfege your part, so I was making it up as I went along. I hope I did it right. So, I'm starting in measure 18. So, fa, mi, so, fa, mi, do, so, fa. Awesome. Let's do that again. I hope you've noticed by now that I am singing an octave above you. You should not be singing in your Mickey Mouse voice and your falsetto at all. Please, no. You're not a tenor. We need your low notes. You're singing where I'm playing it in the piano. So this is measure 18. Ready? 3 and 4 and so for me, so for me, so mi, do, so, fa, re, so. Jump down. So, do, ti, so, do, 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 ti, la, so, fa, so, fa, so. Rest. We stopped at the beginning of 26. So let's go back and talk about what we just did. In measure 21, when you hop down to the bottom line and you join the bass twos, you are actually creating a beautiful duet with the tenors and the alto twos. The alto twos also have to jump down there. At 21, this is what that duet sounds like. 1 and 2 and go. Ladies take over the soaring melodies. So you get this like one measure of glory to do something really, really awesome. And look, in measure 22, the sopranos aren't singing. They step out of the way to let you have your moment. And then they come back and they're the stars of the show. Yep, that's how it goes. All right, so let's go back a little bit. Go back to all the way to measure 11. And let's sing that all the way through what we just did. Measure 11, you are going to start on the upbeat of beat 3. And this is the low do you start on right here. All right, ready? 1 and 2 and go. Do, fa, sol, ti, do, sol, fa, mi, do, re. Before we go on, so sorry to stop you. Did you notice how your voice, your note changes go back and forth with the piano in measure 13? I think I need to point this out to you because it's going to be pretty important when you are auditioning. So go back to measure 11. Let's do that again. And when we get to 13, watch how it goes. Do, sol, fa, mi, do, re. Your notes just fall in between the piano's notes there. Measure 11, all the way through what we already learned. Here we go. Do is your first note. Ready, and 1 and 2 and go. Jump down. So, do, ti, do, 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 ti, la, so, fa, so, fa, so. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Measure 27. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and mi, sol, la, ti. Rest. dramatic key change right there, because we were hanging out here in D flat major, and then all of a sudden the composer just drops a, it's kind of like one of those moments in the song where you're like, oh. Anyway, so check out measure 29. That's where we have a nice little kind of an ending here. You get a little tagline. And I'm talking about your line where it starts on the mi in measure 29. It sounds like this. Mi, sol, la, ti, do. Key change. So let's do that much from 21, where you have the duet with the altos and the tenors. So, do, ti, right there, okay? I'm only gonna play the piano part when you're not singing. Here's measure 21. 1 and 2 and so, do, ti, hold it off, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and mi, sol, la, ti, rest, do, and that's where we stop at measure 30. Well, that's 31 by that point. Awesome. So for lessons this week, that is how much I want you to be able to sing on solfege. And I highly recommend, once you have watched this video a couple times and you've got those notes in your head and you can count in between where you jump in or where your entrances are, practice this on solfege along with the piano track, because the piano track is what you're going to be using when you do the audition. You won't be listening to the music that has the dude singing, okay? All right, take care. Happy practicing.